Journey to God's House, chapter 26, entitled False Advertisements for a Fake Future That Will Never Happen. So, as a young man at God's house, Bethel, New York City, the one place that Brock could get away with saying just about anything was on the factory floor where he worked. Because there he was with his co-workers, you could say, people, young guys just like him. They were in each other's company for 8 to 10 hours a day, and they were scrubs just like him. They didn't have any real authority or importance. They were just making books. So that amount of time spent with other people, you kind of talk about whatever you can, and I'm sure they did. One of the things that they had talked about was the earthly resurrection. Now, to Jehovah's Witnesses, there are a couple of different kinds of resurrections. The first one would be for the 144,000 who will be resurrected to heaven and be kings and priests over the earth. There is a second type of resurrection, and that is on the earth. And these are the ones that will be resurrected after Armageddon. So if you die before Armageddon, the Jehovah's Witnesses believe that you will be resurrected into the earth, the paradise earth. But one Bethelite, I'm guessing one of the brothers there on the factory floor where he worked, stated quite confidently that if you died and were resurrected to earth, you could not be married again and definitely could not have children ever again, because that was the current understanding. And I think to this day that's what it still is, although they probably haven't commented on this subject for quite a while. And most Bethelites would agree with this brother, because based on two things. Number one, Luke chapter 20 says that those in the resurrection will neither marry nor be given in marriage. And because of number two, and most importantly, because the Watchtower Society says so. So Brock mentions that he thought that this was patently unfair because this implied something else. We know how Jehovah's Witnesses feel about marriage and sex. You can't have sex unless you're married. So if the Bible says that those in the resurrection will neither be married nor married themselves, that means you got it. You can't have sex, not just for a week or two or a month, which sucks. No, you can't have sex forever. So, yeah. When he brought this up, he was told, Jehovah will take care of that desire for you. He wondered out loud if God would zap us with an anti-horny ray gun or something like that to take care of that desire for us. Oh, you're horny? Zap. Take care of that for you there. But I digress. He goes on to mention that one day he saw a member of the governing body that he knew better than the others, and that was George Genghis. And he brazenly asked him right on the spot what he thought about this subject. And George Genghis says, when Abraham opens his eyes in paradise, he will immediately say, where is my beloved Sarah? And upon seeing her, he will run to her and hold her in his arms and hug her and be with her as he always did. After all, he was only asleep. He just woke up. But Jehovah, upon seeing Abraham approach Sarah, says to him, no, 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 Abraham, you shall not touch her forever. If Jehovah did such a thing, he would be a tyrant. So really, he was basically backing up what Brock Talon was mentioning, that this couldn't be true, because that would be such a horrible thing to take that enjoyable activities such as sex away from humans when that's the way we're designed. And so he says that he thanked Brother Genghis. He looked over at his friend with his eyebrows raised. He smiled and looked down, shook his head, and they said nothing more about it. So anyways, that is the wacky thoughts of the Jehovah's Witnesses regarding the resurrection to the earth. Thank you for taking time to listen to my summary of the book, Journey to God's House. Post your comments, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for the next chapter.